really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hi, I'm Greg.
I'm Shelley. And together we're Day's Great Adventure. Today we're going to talk about our trip home from South Dakota and our journey home to the Wenatchee, Washington area.
We left Lander, and so we drove through the southwest corner of Wyoming, which the only thing out there were signs, which was just hilarious out there. They would have, you basically went along and where there was no fence, you know, so it was just an open range, you know, on the highway, and so they'd have signs that says, warning, deer entering highway at 60 miles an hour. You know, it's just huge signs.
In Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah, and then they'd have another sign, you know, 20, 30 miles down, and it says, warning, antelope entering highway at 60 miles an hour. And we were driving by, and there's just herds of them out there, and you're thinking, okay, there's nothing to slow them down. Not much out there in that area, but...
We put a video clip in there because we forgot to do it when we did the Wyoming video.
Oh, yeah, right before we got to Lander.
Deer hitting us. It hit us.
And it was doing 60. I mean, we were doing 60, but it come from the side and just bam, and it caught it on our dash cam. And deer. I think I'm losing pressure. A half hour before that, we had two antelope. Big old male antelope jump from the road right between us and the like a motorhome that was in front of us.
Right.
I don't know, a couple hundred yards away, and we almost hit them. I barely got moved, and
and it was dusk, and we had said before we will not travel at dusk. Well, we had to because we had had a long day. So kicking ahead to Utah.
Right. It was basically in that corner of southwest Wyoming. Where you drop down, I think it's Interstate 80, but you come down into, before you get into Salt Lake City, you go by Park City area and the hills there, and the colors of the trees were changing. And
oh my gosh, it was so real pretty. This was in October, mind you, so of course we had
and there was a rest area there we didn't stay at, but we stopped at.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice one, and then we dropped on into Salt Lake City. Yep. Which is this huge old city, and driving through there with that big old rig, and you know. But anyway, we stayed at a it's owned by Sun RV Resorts, but it was called the Pony Express RV Park, and we stayed there through the Passport America. Yep. And we I think just 2 nights basically.
Yeah, we stayed 2 nights.
We were just kind of leisurely heading back to Wyoming, or to Wenatchee.
So we only paid half, I think it was half price those nights.
But you can look it up on Passport America there at that one. But it was okay, a little tight in there. Yeah. But, you know, it was on the north side of Salt Lake City where we wanted to be. Yep. And then we went down into sightseeing into a little bit. In Salt Lake City, we drove through the main part of town and saw the city and stuff like that. We really didn't take much pictures because it was just traffic was crazy and everything else.
Well, and driving a dually long bed pickup in the middle of Salt Lake City downtown, it's not relaxing to take pictures. So, and then we went to, we went to Trader Joe's. Yeah, I love Trader Joe's, as many of you do.
She spent way too much money.
Yeah, he said the other day, let's go to Trader Joe's, and I said, no, I can't.
I just want to get some of their sesame seeds sticks. They're cheap there.
I can't.
But
they are.
She gets all this other stuff that blows so much right.
I can't go there. So anyway,
money-saving sesame seed sticks.
So then we went to Costco because we needed to get a few things. Well, little beknownst to us, the Salt Lake City Costco, there may be more than one.
Oh yeah, there's got to be more.
Yeah, I'm sure
this one that we went to is the biggest one I've ever seen.
It was huge.
I used to be in sales and restaurant supply and all that type of stuff, but they had ovens and ranges and grills and freezers and all kinds of stuff, and then restaurant supply bulk in the boxes, you know, food and different things.
They had whole hogs.
Yeah, you can get whole hogs and whole lamb and everything in the freezers. They had, I mean, it was just, we were walking through there. We didn't buy a lot, but we just went through there, and I think it took us 3 hours.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
It was.
And
it was. Just
we got lost a couple. I mean, it was just. I mean, it's like I ran into this other guy, and he says, "How do you get out of here?" And I said, "I don't know."
So we love Costco. I mean, we are definite. We could be sponsors for Costco, but
Yeah.
but that was the biggest one, and it was a lot of fun. So if you're in the Salt Lake City area, it's fun to go by there and go to that one.
Yeah, and I think that one was kind of a north central-ish area.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that area of Salt Lake City. So what else did we do while we were there?
While we were downtown, go back to downtown area, we were by the University of Utah.
Oh, for lunch,
campus. Yeah. We went to our very first Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was fun. I've
Packed.
always wanted.
I mean,
Yeah, and it had this little tiny parking lot
Yeah.
with a dually truck.
luckily
Not
we found
smart.
a hotel next door that we
Yeah.
parked in an overflow of the hotel, and
Yeah.
they didn't tow us, so it was cool.
But it was good, and out of it we got a free sandwich because it was our first time there, and I filled out the little survey and everything.
Yeah, I
so
think they've sent us something before, we
we
haven't
forgot
gone.
to use. Yeah, we haven't used it yet. So then I think the next day, or was it that same day?
It was the same day after we went driving around.
Can't remember.
But we just kind of Googled the best Chinese. We just kind of craving Chinese food, and we came across this one, and it was back there, kind of the south of the downtown area. Just a hole in the wall. It's called
Kind of ghetto-y area.
Yeah, Little World Chinese Restaurant.
Yeah.
Anyway, all the reviews were just like crazy. And when I went in there and I placed an order, there was a big Samoan guy sitting there and his wife, and they must have had 10, 12 plates on this table
Entrees.
all over the place. And anyway,
I stayed in the truck because I was not leaving my truck there by itself.
well, we had Boo Boo in there too. We just didn't want it. So anyway, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, so." I said, these type of things, these hole in the wall Chinese places, they're either the best food you've ever seen in your life or it's the worst. Yeah. And he goes, oh my goodness, it is so good. We just order some of everything and then we take it home for leftovers.
Yeah.
And he did. I mean, it was just, But so anyway, we talked to him there and got some Chinese. I wish we would have just ate it there because it would have been a lot better hot. But by the time we got all the way back to our campground, it basically, because it was like an hour.
Yeah,
drive,
it was still really good.
It was good, but we had to reheat it, and it wasn't nearly as good as fresh. But I had Shelly. I told her, I said, go back in there, and I said, take a picture of these guys so we can post it. And,
So I asked him if I could take a picture of them, and the one guy goes, "Why?"
Yeah, why?
And I said, because we've heard you're the best Chinese in Salt Lake City, and we just want to share it on our YouTube and with our families. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the owner, he grabbed the cook and all that stuff, and they took pictures. And
I think he thought we were from immigration or something. I don't know.
I don't know. He was nervous at first, but he's fine.
Or food inspection or something. I don't know.
Anyway, then we go to pull out, and these guys come walking by, and they were pretty rough looking, and this gal with them, and the guy, I had the window down, and I was pulling out, and of course my truck is that big old dually diesel, and it's got the 5-inch exhaust, so it's, it's not real loud, but it sounds pretty impressive. Anyway, he goes, oh, nice truck. Now that looks like a truck from Texas. I'm from Texas. That looks like the trucks I'm used to. And he was just walking right in front of us, and on the sidewalk, and I said, oh yeah, thank you. And I said, its name is The Beast. And he stopped right where he was. He turned around and looked at me, and I thought, uh-oh. And he goes, that's my nickname, The Beast.
Yeah, he goes, I love it.
And I was like, okay, this can go one of two ways. But anyway, he started laughing. He goes, man, I love it.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, that truck, it looks like The Beast.
That was fun.
But anyway, so that was kind of our experience there. It's just kind of...
Yeah, short trip through Salt Lake City on our way.
Somewhere we can go back. I think we're planning on possibly going back and meeting up with Aaron from Jones and Travel. I think he's in that area somewhere, I think.
I don't know.
We talked about hooking up with him later this year and possibly doing some solar on the trailer. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So what else is going on?
From Salt Lake City, we traveled on north.
Yes.
On highway, were we still on 80?
I think it's 80, yes.
Okay. To and through
Basically emerges
Idaho.
onto 84 up there.
Somewhere.
In Idaho. So.
Okay.
But we were traveling up through that area. Went in, I think we went through Twin Falls and filled up at a gas station there, and then we drove out and actually went across the bridge. What's the name of the bridge?
Perrine. I'm not sure how you say
like that,
it.
yeah.
Perrine Memorial Bridge.
We have a picture of that. Again,
Over
we
the
love to have
Snake
gone
River.
down and checked out all the falls and all that stuff, but it's over the Snake River there.
Yeah.
But we just were trying.
We were traveling through.
Trying to get to Glenn's Ferry in Idaho. That's where we stayed a couple of nights at Trail Break RV.
And Glenn's Ferry is this little tiny town. I don't even know what the population is. Maybe
2. I mean,
maybe
a couple hundred. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no more than that because the
Maybe
school's
1,000.
pretty good size. Probably 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But anyway, Trail Break RV is just a small, privately owned, nothing fancy. But they had pay for 2 nights and get your 3rd night free through Passport America. So if you're going through there, and it was full hookups and it was a drive-through site. And
in fact, if you
nice,
use
clean.
Google Maps to get directions there, and you're coming from the east, the Google Maps will have you take the first exit.
Oh yeah.
And drive down through the town, all the way out and wind through the town, and then back up over the train tracks and down to this RV campground. So you're heading, back through town, and then you turn to the right and you're heading north. And right as you're getting ready to pull into the campground, you look up, and I mean, not even 100 yards is the interstate.
Yeah.
Where you could have got off.
We should have used our RV.
Anyway,
GPS.
it's just crazy. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal, but it just,
We took the scenic route.
we took the scenic route. That's how we know about the town.
Yes.
But then we came back and we checked it all out. It was kind of fun little town.
We went down to a little restaurant. We had to get some hardware and stuff. We needed to go to the hardware store.
Yeah, they have just a small,
which was
like
a really cool hardware store.
Ace Hardware / cards, and was a
Gift shop.
stationary type store.
Yeah, it's in a really old building with a beautiful original. Well, they weren't so beautiful, but original floors, which are all wood. And anyway, it was a really cool building.
Yeah, picked up some stuff there to work on the trailer.
And by then we needed a little snack, so we found what was it called? The Fudge Factory Grill and Ice Cream.
Yeah.
So we went in there and got some ice cream, talked to the owner.
Yeah. Then we go out and they're actually decorating trailers for
a float.
For a float for homecoming.
Yeah.
And which they said, come on out, just come to the parade with us. And I said, it's okay. And it's actually, the school was right across from the campground, so the parade started. And I think I counted like 6 or 7 sheriffs and state police, whatever, in the area.
I think everybody in that little town was
in the parade. At some point, somewhere and how. But
it was so cute.
But it was fun. And then we, it's funny, that night they said they were going to have a bonfire out there.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there, I was taking our dog out to go potty in the evening, and I'm sitting there going, what is that glow? I mean, there's something, I heard this just roar. I mean, it's like a crackling of a fire. It was like, I thought it was next door, and I was like, where is that? And I look over, and there's just across the street, there's like 100 pallets of wood and all this stuff. I mean, this is a huge, probably the largest bonfire I've ever seen. And I saw it over behind a building, and so Shelley went out there and took some pictures, and it was just like crazy. I mean, they put on a homecoming bonfire.
That's what you call a bonfire.
That's probably why they have all the fire and police and everyone else involved. I don't know.
Just really good hometown feel.
Yeah.
It was a cute little town.
Yeah.
So it was a fun stop.
And we just stayed there a couple of days, like you said, and just kind of recoup and take our time to get back, as our reservations there in Wenatchee weren't for a couple more days.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was our time there in Idaho.
Yep.
Through Oregon, we went through Baker City, and both of us lived in Oregon, and we lived most of our lives there. We got married, in Oregon, and lived and had raised kids there and stuff like that. So, but neither one of us had ever been to the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center and stuff like that.
Well, I never spent a lot of time in Eastern Oregon.
Yeah,
I know you did a little bit.
Yeah, I used to do a lot
hunting.
of hunting back there and stuff like that.
And I don't know
I
how
grew up
long-
more than Ben.
Yeah,
too,
I don't know how long it's been there.
Yeah, it's
So-
fairly new. That's fairly new, but they used to always have it, stuff like that. But that was cool.
It's called the National Historic Oregon Trail Interpretive Center. And you can use your National Parks Pass. If you don't use it, it's $8 per person in the summer and $5 in the winter. And it is good for 2 days, so if you're in that area, you can go back.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. You'll see the pictures there that we have. And
It's sitting up on top of like a knoll.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the road you drive up there just kind of winds, this little one lane road, going down. But you wind around going up there, and you get to the top, and there's this open area for parking. And so, of course, everyone else in there just their cars, and here we pull in with our, 65-foot combined length,
Yeah.
setup and park up there and take up, all these parking spots. But I don't think it was intended to have RVs up there. But it was hardly anybody.
It
up
wasn't
there,
very busy.
But it was cool. We took a lot of photos through there, and we sat through. They got the movies about it and different things going, and we sat through those.
It was so educational.
It was, and then they even do reenactments and stuff like that through the summer.
Yeah,
some
through late
stuff.
summer and at different times of the year. So if you're ever in Eastern Oregon, it is a definite check it out. But when our boys were growing up, when Josh and Jake were growing up, they were so into the Oregon Trail. I don't know if all of you remember this, but they had that computer program when computer games first came out. And I wish that something like that had been around when they were growing up, because it would have been so cool to take them to that. They would have just loved it.
Yeah. So that was in Oregon, just along the road. We just stopped for, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, whatever it was.
Yep.
And we headed on into Washington. We stayed the night in the Tri-Cities area. And her Google Maps on her phone sent us on about an hour route to get to this little county park. I've driven by there probably 50 times.
Yeah.
But I didn't recognize the campground, the name of it, the area, until we pulled onto the road where we're back, come out, and I said, well, this is the road that I was talking about, just driving through Tri-Cities and going up through, on our way back, and we would have driven right by here. But anyway.
When I called to make reservations, the ranger for it, because it was just a county park, he said, oh, you won't need to worry about it. And I thought, okay, we need a place to stay.
Yeah, we need to make
sure.
But
he was right. There was only 2 other people there.
I think there was 2 others. One was a family with a whole bunch of kids, and then there was another small one.
And it was full hookups. Or did it have sewer? We didn't.
I don't think we didn't hook. I mean, I hooked up electricity. It was about all I hooked up. The next morning we got up. I think it was a Sunday morning, and we drove into Wenatchee, and that's our home base where our kids are and grandkids. We stayed at it's another, I think, county or city, county park.
County, yeah.
It's Wenatchee River Park RV. And how did we stay there?
We used Passport America, and actually it was the manager at that park that had called me. I had made those reservations a month and a half before. He called me and said, hey, if you sign up for Passport America, I can save you quite a bit. And so, because we ended up staying 17 nights. It was the end of their season. They close in October. They normally will only let you stay 2 weeks, 14 nights, but because we were at the very tail end of October, they let us stay those extra 3.
We were still trying to get the 1,000 Trails all finalized and all that stuff. And at that time, we needed to be in that area. We thought about staying up at the one up above Leavenworth, but they call it Leavenworth 1,000 Trails, but it's actually way up, almost to Lake Wenatchee.
Far. Yeah.
So I mean, it's like an hour-and-a-half drive, and then with the weather, it could turn really quick up there, and I just didn't want to have to get.
And this was so convenient.
Yeah, it's right there in the area where we're dealing with trying to get our business set up and all that stuff while we're there. So it's
a great park. So if you're in the Wenatchee area and you don't have 1,000 Trails, that you'll stay at Crescent Bay or Leavenworth. Crescent Bar, I'm sorry. It's definitely an option.
Yeah.
But they do fill up in the summertime, so definitely make reservations if you're going to stay there
and I don't know
summer.
if the passport is valid.
It's only valid April and October.
Right.
So we're headed back there. We'll be there in April. Can stay there for a week.
We'll hit it again because the Crescent Bar 1,000 Trails doesn't open till like April 24th, and we want to be back around the 17th. So we're just going to stay there for like a week.
Yep.
And then we'll move out to the 1,000 Trails and stay there for a couple months.
So the rest of our time that we're going to share with you right now was just with our kids at home, and we went to the pumpkin patch. We tried to do that every October, take the kiddos down there.
We did ask their permission.
Yes, and I asked their permission if I could share.
It's okay to share them with our
pictures
video.
Of the babies.
So it's just.
And it's just family time,
And I think we all, as we travel on the road and stuff like that, kind of value that.
In an old time
Careful, don't throw it on Boo Boo. Oh, that was way too close. Yeah.
All the heroes long gone past as they watch us smiling from the skies. 'Cause we were
You be careful. Good job.
Hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, just documenting our travels from Wyoming to Wenatchee, and then some time spent with our kids and grandkids. Anyway, we reached our goal of 100 subscribers. Not really our goal, just a goal of that.
Yes.
And then, so we did the drawing. Put everybody that said subscribe on it.
Actually, can I say real quick? We succeeded over by 5. So we're at,
So far.
yeah, so far.
So
So,
we're on.
so even that night we were at 105, which we just really want to thank each and every one of
Yeah.
you that helped kick us over the 100 subscriber mark.
Yep. Our
That's
next-
exciting in our little world.
Put a next goal out there, and then, you know, eventually we want to get
Yeah.
many as we can. Just
Yep.
shocking that 100 of you
Yeah.
think we're interested
Want to
enough
hang out with us.
Want to hang out. We enjoy you. You know, those of you that have YouTube channels and stuff like that, we enjoy getting to know you guys as well.
Definitely.
And so anyway, I put everybody's that said subscribe on the videos, stuff like that said they want to be entered in the drawing. We put a number next to everybody, and I did the random generate, and it came up with the number 2, and the number 2 on the list was RV Kids TV.
RV Kids TV.
So
we
you-
will get a hold of you.
One.
See if
I
we
don't
can
know
get
if
it.
you can get the picture, but I don't know if
Here.
it'll work.
We're gonna try.
See,
a
last
little
time I
closer.
guess it didn't
There
take it.
we go, Buc-ee's.
And you know, hopefully these, hopefully it won't be just the empty bag.
We'll try to get it in the mail probably
Well,
tomorrow.
No, we need to get them to contact us.
Yes. Contact us so that we can get your information. So hopefully that'll be by tomorrow. So
Yeah, so
anyway,
just give a comment on this. You know, and like I said, we'll try to get it out in the mail the next day.
Yeah.
So if you commented on Sunday, then we'll also try to send you a message too that's tell you one. But if you haven't already gotten a hold of us, then get a hold of us and give us your address.
yep.
So we appreciate that, and we'll try to do some different drawings here and there.
Yeah.
And then also, you guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell. Also, you know, because you hit the bell on there, that it'll notify you, because we're having extra videos that we're putting up in the middle of the week. I'm trying to
Here
do
and
that, you know, at least every other week, if not every week. So,
Right.
So you can check them out. Any other things?
I think that's it. We just want to thank you all for
Yeah.
hanging out with us a little bit each week and kind of following our journey.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank
Looking
you. We
forward to it.
appreciate you.
So we'll say our thing.
Yes. So don't forget, every day's a gift.
So don't count the days, but make the days count. We'll see you soon. We can just raise it up. We can just both sit there naked.
It's true. I guess I can put my fan down here on the ground. I'm good. Oh yeah. Makes a world of difference. So from Salt Lake City, we drove west. Were we still on Highway 80?
It'd be north.
From Salt Lake City, we drove.
Geography. Anyway.
From Salt Lake City, we traveled on north
Yes.
on Highway. Were we still on 80?